I was lucky enough to see that 300-year-old bungalow that you have restored and renovated.
When you are into the practical field and you get real-time experience, somehow I got drawn to that aspect and everything fell in place academically. My father felt that, oh, she should be a doctor. It was challenging to go to school if you missed the bus, to take the truck.
Take the truck?
To take the truck.
My
get a truck.
God.
It's always in life for me, the answers are very simple. If you know what you don't want to do, then what you want to do become very easy.
Great. This is where I would really like you to send a message to the students as to, it is once you decide that you want to do it and you find your passion, you make a way through it.
The hustle bustle is so much. We're constantly wanting action. We're constantly doing things. But it's when you lay down, you need that stillness.
Hi everyone, we are on a wonderful journey to Lonavala today. On today's podcast in Rubaru with Rupali, we are going to meet a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Gayatri, architect Gayatri Khatau. And she has built a beautiful bungalow in Lonavala in the name of Aangan. And we are going to visit and have a lovely introduction and discussion with her and understand her journey in the field of architecture. I'm extremely eager to meet her and I'm sure you would love the way she has worked into forming her bungalow with her passion and love. Let us go and meet her. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Hello.
Badam.
Hello everyone, we are here with Gayatri Khatau, a very, very dear friend of mine. She has been my classmate, as I had told you earlier. And we are here in Aangan, a beautiful abode of Gayatri designed by her so much with love and passion. And we are here to introduce Gayatri and know about how she has gone through in designing her space that is Aangan. Hi Gayu.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
Thanks to you for inviting us and letting us be a part of this beautiful place that you have created.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Gayatri, I know you from my college days. We were classmates and we have had some wonderful 5 years together. But the fact is, I have known you more now than what I knew you in college. There was a real tough journey that you went through. Can you just give a quick briefing of how you began this course and how you tried to be a part of architecture?
Actually, frankly, architecture, it was not by design, it was by default. Those days, it was either if you're good in studies, either you do medicine or you do engineering or you do, perhaps you become a lawyer. So, since everything fell in place academically, my father felt that, oh, she should be a doctor.
Okay.
I stood in line. I got good marks in PCB. So we had PCBM.
Yeah.
Stood in line, then realized that, oh, it's not going to work out because dentistry was an option and the cutoff was really very high and things like that.
Okay.
So I moved out of that line and I said, chalo, let me try and apply for architecture.
Really?
Right.
How architecture?
How architecture? Because my Masa is an architect. And so we had influences that was close to my Masi. So I think the engineering was not an option. So always in life for me, the answers are very simple. If you know what you don't want to do, then what you want to do become very easy.
Great. That is wonderful.
So I knew I didn't want to do engineering. And that's how I applied for architecture without realizing that I am possibly going to enjoy it. Though it may not have seemed so when I was in college.
No, the challenges that you faced in that 5 years course was unknown to us, really. I mean, maybe the group of students whom you were with, but otherwise we were really not aware that you had to move in the week to Lonavala and come back, for the lectures. I mean, how did you manage that?
I must have compromised a lot on college life. But what I gained here, because from the first year of architecture itself, I was working here. Every weekend I would come here. So being on the field and learning, and the first life project was when I was in the third year of architecture.
Right.
So I think that was kind of the journey began then.
So you used to come to Lonavala on weekends,
On weekend.
work in
Work with an,
Lonavala,
with an
and then
architect.
come back for college.
Right.
My God.
So and then come back for college. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday used to be here. Monday morning I had to come back. So sometimes, of course, Monday I would miss out and come late. But depending on the train timing. So that used to be typically every week. And
Can I ask you what was the reason for working right from your first year onwards?
Interesting. I'll tell you, possibly because every weekend I had to come here for being with the family, my parents.
Yeah.
And so Lonavala kind of. And I have then my friend and now my husband who pushed me. And he said, you're not going to be sitting at home. You have to get an experience from the first year itself. And I think I owe it to him. He's the one who pushed me. Never let me sit at home.
Yeah. So this is one thing which I suppose you're going to create, or students are going to learn immensely, that how you build your practical understanding by keeping in touch with the practical field.
True.
And from that such early age, I mean, it was a huge challenge for you looking at the submissions and coping up.
I found it very hard to cope up with the two. So I must have compromised on one. Because when you are into the practical field and you get real-time experience, somehow I got drawn to that aspect. And so I must have shortchanged a lot of my life in college.
But now we are here and you have created I must say, Gayatri, a niche for yourself, which is so close to your heart, because whatever work you have done is full of passion, is full of love, is full of that learning and understanding. I don't think I can feel that you've missed anything in academics, because something that you have realized, you have implemented it in your designs. We are going to take a tour of your house and we will know, but let me tell the audience here that this is just 1/4 or, tip of the iceberg that we will be seeing here. Because she has, really, I've seen your work, I've seen the varied clientele that you have and that you have been doing. It's amazing.
Thank you. It's just a little, I just continue with whatever I don't have a great, a massive practice as such. We have a few interesting projects.
You are just being too modest. But how did Aangan happen?
Aangan happened, this was, I always wanted a space of our own. We have a family home here. And I thought I should have an alternate space where I could invite my friends every weekend. And that's when Neil, my son, was born. So we started building this up. So this was our space where our family and friends could gather. So that's how Aangan happened. So we bought this place and we nurtured it for 2 years and we started work on it.
Great. And we will quickly take a tour of this, because I know right from understanding the plot and the overall environment that the plot gave and how you tried to sustain it and build with considering all these aspects is something which will be a humongous learning for the students.
Oh, thank you so much. It'll be my pleasure if at all. It has been a learning for me, and architecture is always a learning experience. I don't think you know it all. It's just the experiences that you learn from. So I'm happy to share if at all it could make a difference.
Beautiful place. I would really love to understand it through your words and version, how you have planned and decided to conceptualize Aangan. back from the amazing tour, Gayatri. Every time I come here, I'm in awe with the way you have designed this space. Really.
Thank
And I'm sure the audience has realized that what went into designing Aangan.
Thank you
So much of love and so much of understanding. Gayatri, I would like to ask you that we know that during the graduation you did this, you had to come to Lonavala and go. And then after your graduation, you continued in the same firm where you were working?
Yes, actually, Shabir, who I learned a lot from, design workshop, he called me after I finished architecture and he says, hey, there's a project on which it was a farmhouse in Karjat, which eventually it didn't turn out. But it was for that he wanted working drawings to be done. So he said, why don't you come, Bandu? He calls me Bandu. For 16 days. It just take you 2 weeks and we'll be done with it. So I came for that, but that project didn't happen. But I continued to do more projects that came our way and it just went with the flow. The rapport that I enjoyed, I enjoyed my time. I must thank him for giving me the opportunity to learn along the way. The sites taught me a lot.
Wonderful. How many people were there with you when you were with Shabir?
It was just a model maker, he and I, just the three of us.
Amazing.
And after a few months, we have the draftsperson.
Exactly. And that is the reason behind learning so much. And all that, I wouldn't say you missed, but much more than what a college education could have taught you.
I suppose so. I would say that he gave me the opportunity to learn. And he also had a construction firm. So I used to manage a lot of it. And along the way, possibly learn how to design a winding road up the mountain. Then learn about materials, how much material will be required per square foot of brickwork. And, the labor costs and everything I learned because of the construction firm. So it was a design build firm.
And you had to take all the responsibility because there was
There was just us. We could only fall back on each other.
Exactly.
So from there it started, then I became an associate, and then we started a partnership firm. So
Wonderful.
Yeah, so that was my journey.
This is where we realized that beginning with a small firm has helped you in learning in such quick paces. I must also say that you started your firm here in Lonavala. Do you have to say something about that?
I started Gayatri Architects in 2013. So in Lonavala, yes, because through word of mouth, through friends, have already established a connect here. We did works for Kevaladham since 1997 is when I started working for Kevaladham and working along the way. So through word of mouth, it just went with the flow. Our projects were in Pauna. Right, so we used to do residential architecture over there, a lot of bungalows over there.
Yeah.
So that's how the journey began. So I think this was the base.
Yeah. You feel that coming out of the city was a boon for you?
Yes, and being connected to nature. Yes. So it was a conscious effort after leaving, after graduating, that what should I continue being in Bombay or should I move out and come back? Where should the journey be? So I just asked myself. And I said, it's better not to start off doing only interiors and possibly delve in architecture. And that's when he called. Yeah. So yes, being in nature, connected to nature. The site also was so strong. Pauna has a beautiful lakeside and all these mountain places have lovely wooded areas and gardens, and became easy. So it was always a dialogue, how to integrate the design and merge landscape.
Exactly.
So,
and even I suppose the opportunities that architects would get if they're out of the city, does that, you think, built up a bit more?
yeah, I think you built up a more it helps you. It helps me. I don't know. I mean, this is my opinion. It has helped me. The space has helped me. I think a certain quality of life in terms of emotional, mental, in all aspects, the well-being of an individual certainly gets developed while you're working. You could be working anywhere, right? All that you need is just a laptop and you. But the space, the context does a lot more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm constantly connected with nature.
Great. Gayatri, tell me about the different work that you are doing currently.
We have currently, we just finished during COVID conservation projects and also a small wellness shop. And so now we're doing a naturopathy center. It's a wellness center. It's in at the foothills of the Aravalli Mountains and fortunately nested in a forest.
Lovely.
And another one which is a resort and a villa project. Then one is our own pet project, which is Antariksh, where my husband and I have invested in it, and it's a 4.5 acre wooded area in Lonavala, facing the lake.
Wow.
So with the heritage bungalow,
Yes.
so we're trying to do things over there, which is
Great. You have done some really wonderful work with the heritage projects.
thank you.
I was lucky enough to see that 300-year-old bungalow that you have restored and renovated. Just tell me, what was your experience doing that?
The experience. It was fantastic. Only COVID hit us. So that was a hard time because the labor and the migration, it was difficult a phase, but learned a lot while doing this bungalow here. And it was in Lonavala itself.
How did you gauge what was required? How did you do your own learning while you have taken up those?
We had also done one more conservation in for a 20 cottage unit in Devlali. And that was a learning experience where we learned how to get a structural audit done, understand. So we also have a team and the contracting team who mainly is into restoration and repairs.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the team also makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. You have absolutely changed the whole look of that bungalow, and beautiful, regaining and keeping its original,
Yes.
you know,
It is a challenge because there was a plaster which was added on later, probably over a period of time. So we realized the plaster was kicking off. So it was that's a house too.
and specifically the happy faces of the people who stay there. That I think must be giving you most of the
that is true.
satisfaction.
First and foremost, the restoration part of it was handled really beautifully by the contracting team, Swami Enterprises. Yeah. So, yeah, it does give you that satisfaction. Yeah, you need people to enjoy their place.
Yes. How did you face the challenge of multitasking, being a woman, a mother, wife?
I'm still finding it difficult. I don't know if I'm doing a good job out of it. It is difficult. As I was telling you, it's like a thermostat. I'm constantly like switching on and switching off in multiple directions. And that becomes very challenging in an already demanding profession like architecture, where there is no, we don't know when to start and it doesn't end, right?
Exactly.
You're dealing with multiple faculty. It could be a contracting team, it's a client, it's people in the team, the workforce, and as a woman, even you must be facing it. We all do. We have challenges at home. Yeah, but it is challenging. It is difficult. So I think the only thing I could say is flexible hours.
Yeah.
That when you start off and you're on your own, that does make a difference.
Exactly. This is where I would really like you to send a message to the students as to, it is once you decide that you want to do it and you find your passion, you make a way through it. I mean, challenges are always there, whether it is a boy or a girl, but somewhere I felt you were strong with what you had to do. You didn't let it go in any ways, and you tried doing it whichever way it was possible. I think that was
I went with the flow. I'm always somebody who's not planned too much in advance. I just go with the flow. and God has been kind. I've got a good support system. Yeah,
Yeah.
at home also and elsewhere.
I always feel that there is a give and take, because I have been seeing you handling this entire Aangan, such a huge space, and trying to maintain it with the staff that you have. And the way you're dealing things, the way you're talking, they're so much, they feel a part of the family.
They are.
It-
They're my lifeline.
Exactly. I mean, hats off to you for making them feel and, be a part of your family.
Yeah,
That is very important. That I think you always had this skill, this, or maybe the life has taught you. In
very well. Life always teaches us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, they're the lifeline. So I tell them you're a part of Gayatri Architects.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
My domestic helpers. They're a part. They're integrated. They're doing everything. Yeah, we
What
have.
do you think was the most challenging phase? I mean, of course, every, maybe at every stage there must have been some or the other. But if I have to spontaneously ask you, what do you think, or what would you say was that phase which made you what you are today?
This is a tough question.
I remember you telling me that your dad, or possibly the
Oh, the tough question. All right. Moving from Bombay
yes,
and coming to Lonavala. And that also when my father shifted and we relocated from Bombay when I was 13. And then telling us that we are going to be living 8 kilometers away from Lonavala in a place which is Karla, where there was no public infrastructure, transport to go to school.
exactly. And you were in Vadala.
And we
And
were in
the
Vadala,
house
born and
of-
brought up in
yeah,
Bombay, and
yeah.
then we had to move out. So the only carrot was like you could watch as many movies in those days. He bought a video, video player.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed watching movies in Karla. We didn't have neighbors. So that may have seemed tough then. But now in retrospect, I feel that I got a lot of reflective moments to reflect upon. Because I would just take the cycle and go 2 kilometers towards Karla Caves or towards MTDC, be it even in the rains. And that was my,
Yes.
journey within myself, where I possibly asked a lot of questions to myself. So that whole reflective moment. So I think that was wholesome in a way. Even if I come back from school, I didn't have friends. And people in Lonavala, at least, the friends in Lonavala would manage to get to meet each other. I didn't have that. But of course, every weekend we had a lot of guests. So it was challenging to go to school if you missed the bus, to take the truck.
Take the truck.
To take the truck.
My
get a truck
God,
and
that's
go-
how you used to travel to.
Yeah, to school, yes.
Oh my God.
There was no public transport, right? So if you missed this timing of the ST bus, then you had to take the truck.
I suppose you have given a very good statement where you said that introspect. You got those periods where you could, really think and question yourself. I suppose this generation maybe is too tight and too busy and too overworked to really find that space where they need to introspect. Even I suppose in this 5 years of graduation which we go through, I suppose this sort of areas are a must.
It is a must. The moment where you feel still, I think this is what is required, irrespective of where you are, right? The hustle bustle is so much. We're constantly wanting action. We're constantly doing things. But it's when you lay down, you need that stillness.
Exactly. What would you like to advise today's generation?
Make a difference. Make a difference to the society.
Yes.
Give back to the society in every way. That's what I learned from my husband's and my mentor, who I've worked with in Devlali. Yeah, so to give back to the society and enjoy what you're doing.
Exactly.
And go with the flow.
And go with the flow. Yeah. Enjoy what you're doing. This enjoy what you're doing has a lot of meaning to what Gayatri has said, because it is not something which can be just learned or, in a few instances. It is something when you be a part of your work and try to work into it passionately is where you understand the real meaning of enjoy. And this is where we see when Gayatri is explaining her, or we were touring the space, and the way she designed this entire place, looking at all the flora, fauna, looking at the ecosystem, trying to enhance it through Aangan, through this built structure, rather than being a hindrance to what the nature is giving us, was her enjoyment. And I think the satisfaction that you got, Gayatri, through this was something which cannot be counted in the worth of what you are getting right now is something beyond your expectation. And that is what will give you the level and the happiness in what you are doing.
Yes, I think so. I think I have not done much. It's everything around me, the context is so beautiful. I've been fortunate to get the right context. Now, nature gives us a lot more than we could give.
Wow. Wow. Your every structure is a learning. And I suppose you should look at, really working and keeping these archives for the upcoming generation to know how much you have learned from nature, how much you have given back to nature, and how much you want them to follow your footsteps. Because I know, rather than them, that how much they will gain from doing so.
Oh, that's been viewing very kind, yeah.
No, Gayatri, it is amazing that it is you as a woman have really been a role model for many of the students. You have come to my college. You have given a chance to my students to work on your projects. You have called them here in Lonavala, and for around a week, where they were with you and learning from you. I suppose the students should take this opportunity what Gayatri has been giving and make the most of these learning lessons from her.
Thank you. I learned a lot from them too.
Yes, that is.
It's a two-way process.
So
I enjoy being with them.
Exactly. The generation teaches us a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
I mean, I think we are at par right now doing what we are doing is because we are learning from them.
I know. It is a two-way process, because for us, it's like we have the experience and the knowledge, so to speak, through our experiences. And what they have is the energy and the drive and the passion and the hunger to take that from us. So it kind of motivates us also, and it keeps us alive.
Yes, so well said. So well said. True. True. Thank you very much for giving us your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always welcome. Thank you.
Inviting us here to Aangan. And we hope and we wish to be with you again to learn more about your projects.
Oh, thank you.
And see what are you doing eventually.
Surely. Thank you for giving the opportunity and coming over, especially to spend time with us. And on Women's Day.
Yeah, on Women's Day.
Thank you.